you look back on stuff that you've done in your life and you can't remember exactly which year it was, like, was that 2012 or was that 2011? I have that sometimes. But I am definitely going to always remember what 2015 is, because that was the year Australia came to Eurovision. Yeah.
And they invited me.
No way. They're thinking good things. Must have done something right in our childhood if we ended up with Sebastian in Vienna in 2015 at Eurovision. So, how does it feel? How was rehearsal? How are you doing as far as stage performance is concerned?
It's amazing. I mean, it's very overwhelming. You know, I've been fortunate enough to perform on various different stages, but when you get on this Eurovision stage, it's like nothing else I've ever done in my life, and you know, the sheer production value is out of this world, but also just how well oiled it is as a machine. Like, everything is so well organised, and so you know, there's people everywhere. Everyone has a role, and then there's like 10 backup people in case that person doesn't do their role, and it's amazing.
Thank you.
Where's your backup?
No, I mean, it has been really good vibe-wise too. I've been here all along, and it just seems like genuinely so friendly and helpful to one another, respectful, tolerant, and also just really, truly loving, actually, somehow. And I know we have been thrilled in Austria. I feel uncomfortable perhaps speaking for the entire nation, but I think I can actually, to say that we've been super excited to have you come and join us here at Eurovision 2015.
Well, I've felt very welcome, very warm, and I mean, everyone's just been so inviting. You know, we are an invited guest, and obviously we're usually foreign to the competition as far as on a competitive level, but I didn't really know what to expect, but so far it's just been amazing. Everyone, all the fans have been incredible. They know the song. They you know, greet us at airports with flags and stuff like that. It's been amazing.
Nice. You know what, I've got some techies in my crew, in my posse, in my friendship circle who are working here. And I don't want to give too much away, and I don't want to be all like, you know, not diplomatic, but the techies, I speak for them right now, are all totally stoked by your performance. They're all like, oh, Australia.
Well, we just had the first rehearsal, and it's funny with every, I guess it's easier to scale back than to add things, because I think we thought Eurovision, let's throw everything at the kitchen sink at it, and so we've watched the performance back. We're like, wow, that's a lot. We need to strip back a little bit. So we've just done that. Literally, we sat in a room for quite a while, and yeah, we just scaled back a little bit because it was a little bit crazy.
Oh, I know the technician friends that I have who are working here. They were well impressed, excited, stoked. Okay, let's go to the press corps. And I mean, look at, you have seen your Australian costume.
That's amazing.
Very cute.
I need one of those shirts.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start with my young friend from Azerbaijan here in the front row. If we can get a microphone to him. There we go.
You look so excited. I love your energy.
Yes, I feel so good because the only one time Australia participated in Eurovision, and I'm asking a question for you.
Oh.
Tell us who you are.
I'm from Azerbaijan. And I have a question. It's most more representatives have tattoo, and also you have. How much you have, and what they mean?
Oh, okay. So my tattoos, I haven't had a tattoo for actually probably a couple of years. I don't think I've had a day off to sort of just sit in a chair for 8 hours or whatever. I started getting tattoos a while ago. This was my first one, and then I kind of just went a little crazy on this arm. This is a phoenix. Very fitting for Conchita, of course, and probably one inspired her. I'm going to claim some royalties for that. So I've got Martin Luther King, obviously during the speech about freedom and all those things and equality, and there's a few a couple of Beatles things. I've got the Abbey Road crossing there, and I've got this one here, Life is What Happens to You While You're Busy Making Other Plans. When I had a son, that song really spoke to me. It's called Boy, and you know, I guess just that saying is I guess in my life, it's just a reminder to stop and not be so concerned about what's happening tomorrow. You know, actually it's very fitting for the song. It's about kind of taking in life as you're living it and being in the moment. And
do you want to sing a little something for me?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Should we all sing? Where's that guitar?
Where's that guitar? Okay. Should we do
that guitar
acapella?
handy? Oh, let's go. We can do it acapella.
Yeah? By the time the guitar gets here, it might be too late.
Yes, that's right. We can do it.
Don't let the music wait.
We'll do like the little intro up to the end of the chorus one. Do it in that trim. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, everyone's got the problem. There's always something on your mind. Oh, but tonight we ain't gotta solve them, no. For now, let's leave them all behind. And do what you want. Do what you want. Do what you want. Oh, get on it, get on it. I don't want tomorrow. Oh, baby, tonight's so good. Tonight's so good. This is one tough act to follow. Oh, baby, tonight's so good. Forget tomorrow. We can do tonight again. Oh, 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 we can do tonight again.
They're amazing, right?
Yep, they're amazing, you're amazing. I like that you did that off the cuff. Thank you very much.
No
Well,
worries.
okay, I'm going to go to my colleague Dominic. Yes, you have a question?
Hi Guy, I'm Dominic from Austrian television. Many of us are pretty sure you are going to win this year.
Oh, I don't know about that.
What happens then, you know? Eurovision is not going to be held up in Australia, of course.
No.
But you can decide who will be your broadcaster in Europe. Would this be England? Because they would be very keen to have Eurovision Song Contest in London one time again.
Yeah.
They won't reach it with their songs.
Oh, no, Dominic, sit down.
I like your T-shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
If I could just help answer that, we have a lot of friends in Europe as Australians. We were lucky enough to be invited years ago in Dusseldorf. The people that ran the Dusseldorf 2010 Eurovision, they took an interest in us, and they presented Australians actually in the audience and interviewed them, and we just couldn't believe that was happening to us at that point. So 5 years later, we're actually performing, and it's very exciting. We've talked to a number of different broadcasters in Europe, and it's if we were to win, we're just happy to be here, but if we were to win, we would announce it a little later, and we just still need to talk. It would definitely be on in Europe, and
No, that's true.
because the time zones would be very difficult for your prime time.
Yes.
Although I think many people may say, we'll just come out to Australia for a meeting so that we can discuss this.
I actually got asked a lot of times in interviews just a few weeks ago, and they were asking the same thing, and I was like, I don't know. I had no idea. I was like, am I supposed to choose somebody now? But I said the same thing. I was like, it's not my choice.
Amongst my friends, we were all like, if that was to happen, please, I hope they choose a country that has a city that's right on the sea, so it can be kind of like a beach party.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying anything, but Barcelona.
Well, I did substitute the sea a few weeks ago in Salzburg. I'm used to surfing in Australia, and the water temperature is like 24 degrees, 25 when it's really warm, and the actual temperature is, can reach above 30, and it can get quite warm. It's nice being in the water, and so they then transported me all the way to Salzburg and gave me a surfboard, and I was thinking, the heck am I doing with a surfboard here in Salzburg? And I went river surfing. And it's amazing. There's this like incredible surf culture down in Salzburg, and the water runs off the mountains, which is snow, and no wetsuit. It didn't matter how thick that wetsuit was going to be. It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's how we like to treat our guests.
Yeah.
Down the river.
That's right.
Literally.
Throw them in freezing water.
On a surfboard.
It's brilliant.
That's going to be part of your postcard. You guys are all going to be able to see that when you watch the broadcast of the actual shows. So.
That's right. Now I have the flu, so thank you.
Okay. Yes, I'll go to a question from a colleague from the Team Guy team.
Thank you. G'day. Chris North, SBS Eurovision Digital. Congratulations to the singers as well. You guys rock on stage. Excellent. My question is in regard to who you collaborate with. You have what seems to have been a growing relationship now with David Ryan Harris, and you've worked together with him on this. And for those who don't know, he's a prolific American singer-songwriter and musician, an amazing talent. He's worked with John Mayer and Santana and some extraordinary talents. So tell us about that relationship. Why is that important when it comes to producing a song like this? And is there a formula that you guys have developed in order to create good music together?
I think it's a combination of we work very well together. Now, as a songwriter, I write a lot with other people. I write on my own, but I do enjoy working with other songwriters as well. It's nice on a creative level to bounce off, other creative people, and you have certain amounts of success with people, and then you won't have the success with someone else, and it's just the creative process. And but David in particular, we've written some songs together that have been big hits for me in Australia, and even in the US. We wrote a song called Battle Scars, which went platinum in the US, and yes, I guess we've got this relationship that just works, but when it came to the Eurovision song, I was chosen to do it, and then I had gigs, and then I was in Hawaii doing a gig, and I landed with, I think there was 3 days left before the deadline. And at that point I was going to sing a song I'd already written. It was on my album, it met the deadline, it was after the September cutoff, and it was a ballad. And but after really digesting my role as Australia's ambassador for Eurovision, I thought I need to really just throw everything at this performance. I'm just going to write and see if something else comes. And so I remember my wife and I, we drove to the studio. She was dropping me off, and I got out of my car, and behind me is this guy walking down the other way, and it was David Ryan Harris, who's a great friend of mine. I didn't even, at the time, I didn't know he was in the country. He lives in LA. And I was like, bro, what are you doing? And like, mind you, my studio, like the alleyway of my studio, it's pretty random. It's not like it's a major area. It's like a little bit out of the city. It's, it's sort of inner city, but a little bit urban. But he was working across the road at a different studio, and I said, man, you need to cancel that. I need to write a song for Eurovision. Do you want to come and help me? So he came, and we wrote, I think, 3 or 4 ideas. he went off to sound check. He had a gig, and it was at that time where I thought none of these ideas are working. I pulled up the drum loop and I started playing the guitar, and I started singing the chorus for Tonight Again. And I guess I visualised what the performance would be like, you know, like I'm going to be in Vienna, I'm going to be surrounded by other countries and other people, and a huge stage. I'm not going to want it to end. It's going to be incredible. And it was kind of that rhetoric that kept going over my mind, and I thought, I want to do Tonight Again and again and again, and then I thought, Tonight Again, actually that's a great title. And David came back from his sound check, I played him the idea, he was like, I love it, let's finish it. We worked through the night. I got my band in the next day, and we tracked all the band members. I got my horn players in, we tracked everything, shot the video while we were doing all of that, and then got it mixed and mastered on the third day. And so it was 72 hours. I fell asleep on my studio couch. I went to a friend's birthday party, and I think I had a little bit much to drink, but still managed to finish the song.
My goodness.
So that was our celebration.
If I go to the grocery store and the apotheca on the same day, I feel like I've accomplished something.
Yes, exactly. So it was a good 72 hours.
Well, talk about a creative burst, right? Okay, one last question from the people at hashtag Ask Eurovision. Your song talks about happiness and a good mood, says John. What is Eurovision for you, though? A song contest or a huge party?
Well, I think if you take the party aspect out of Eurovision, you're sort of missing the point. You know, it's you know, growing up in Australia they do a lot of house parties for Eurovision, but also they put it on in pubs and venues and things like that. But it's quite common for people to have a Eurovision themed night and watch Eurovision, and they love it. You know, SBS has broadcast it for I think over 30 years now, and it's just grown and grown into this incredibly successful show in Australia, which is not close, trust me. That flight is awful, but yeah, it's just gathered so much momentum, and I definitely think it's a great party, but a contest is a contest, and I personally I'm trying to not. To me, music is a celebration. Music is something that moves you. It can pick you up from your darkest place. It can just change your mood when you're driving on the way to work. A certain song can come on and suddenly it'll change the course of your day. Music is so powerful, and I find it kind of difficult to see music as a competitive medium. But nonetheless, I'm in a competition. Right. So my focus is just to do the best job I can do. I'm an invited guest. We're so happy to be here.
Well, I mean, if you take the Australian sense of humor, the generalization I know, but if you take that out, you take the fun factor out, and then you wouldn't be here, right? So
yes, exactly right. And we've got a saying in Australia, and we're kind of quite an easygoing, culture, and we say something. We say she'll be right. And we pretty much say that about everything. Everything could be wrong. Like there could be everything could go wrong, and Ozzy will still be like, nah, she'll be right. She'll be right. Okay.
I know a saying that goes, Uru. Oh, it's wrong, I guess.
It's not good when you recite a country's.
In Australia, when you say bye, don't you say Uru or something?
Quite different though.
It was with a French accent. Alright guys, it's time to wrap things up for you guys now.
Thank you guys.
And thanks everybody for coming out and being so much fun. Alright, that's it.
Can I just answer? He's been so...
I know, I'm sorry, that's it. No, that's it.
Oh, is that it? Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
Yep,
You can ask me.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks guys.